Alright, what's going on, dudes? Welcome back to the channel. Today I wanted to discuss some news that's come out, and I don't usually do real-life news stories here on my channel, but since this news pertains to gaming and video games, I thought it would be appropriate to discuss it here because I think a lot of people are going to have some kind of opinion on this. So just real quick before we get into it, we do video games over here on this channel. We mainly post Call of Duty, but we also post games like Fortnite, PUBG, and Battlefield occasionally. So we are mainly a Call of Duty channel. Make sure you subscribe for Call of Duty content from all titles, both current and past, as well as Black Ops 4 news and other popular things going on in gaming. And if you would like to support small YouTubers, then please leave a like on this video. But without wasting any more time, let's get into this story. So on Monday afternoon, CNN comes out with this article titled, "World Health Organization classifies gaming disorder as a mental health condition." I'm going to leave a link to this article in the description below if you guys care to go and read it on your own, but I am going to do some quick summary here. So if you don't feel like reading it, just stick around, pay attention for a little bit, and we can see what it's all about. So the International Classification of Diseases, or the ICD, as it's referred to in this article, is the foundation for the identification of health trends and statistics globally and the international standard for reporting diseases and health conditions. Basically, I think you could just sum it up as like the standard manual or handbook for all diseases, both physical and mental, that is used in many or all parts of the world. So what this article says is that there are three major diagnostic features or characteristics of gaming disorder. The scientist who conducted the study is named Pozniak, and he says that the three features of gaming disorder are this. The first one is that the gaming behavior takes precedence over other activities to the extent that the other activities are taken to the periphery. Basically what that means is that you put all your other activities that you would normally do on the back burner so that you could play more video games. I mean, okay, you know, that one makes sense. I could see where that's coming from. I would expect that to be the first feature, but let's keep moving. The second feature is impaired controls of these behaviors, he said. Even when the negative consequences occur, the behavior continues or even escalates. So a diagnosis of gaming disorder then means that a persistent or recurrent behavior pattern of sufficient severity has emerged according to the ICD. So like, honest to God, without even trying to be funny or cynical, like, does this literally mean you're getting shit on in a game of COD by the other team and you keep playing because you want to beat them or you want to win? You're having a negative experience, so that means that if you keep playing, you have a problem. If I keep dropping tilted towers and I'm getting one bursted by the fucking pump shotgun and all I have is a pistol, does that mean that I have this gaming disorder if I keep playing? And like I said, I'm not even trying to be funny. I'm just trying to make a real life connection and actually try to think of an example of which I think they're talking about here. So I think in theory, by definition, I mean, this second one could seem like an addictive thing, but let's face it, you don't always win every time you play video games, and many people get frustrated with video games. I know, you know, God knows how many controllers I've smashed in my life when I was younger. I don't do that anymore because I actually have to pay for my own shit now, but you know, we've all been there. We've all snapped discs. We've all broken controllers. We've all punched holes in our walls because we get shit on in COD or get quick scoped or whatever. So really that one combined with the first one, and the first one is that the gaming behavior takes precedence over other activities. My response to that would be, well, yeah, I mean, it's a hobby. Of course, when you have a hobby, you give up other things to pursue that hobby. It's the same thing as if your hobby was playing basketball or going to the gym or doing something else. Of course, you have to make room in your life to do your hobbies, but maybe they're talking about like actually giving up important things like missing school and work and stuff. I don't know. Maybe they don't really say, so it's hard to say. But I think that the third characteristic that they name is probably the biggest one and the one that you can make the most of a case for, and it ties into this a little bit, so let's go ahead and read it. The third characteristic is that the condition leads to a significant distress and impairment in personal, family, social, educational, or occupational functioning. That may include things like disturbed sleep patterns, diet problems, and a deficiency in physical activity. Okay, so all jokes aside now, I can see where this one might come into play and how this one could be a little bit true. I think a lot of people, from what I've seen on Twitter and YouTube and stuff, a lot of people are seeing this article and just dismissing it automatically as a joke or whatever. And yeah, for the most part, I think it's probably stretching a little bit to be classified as a disorder. But this third characteristic, I could understand why people exhibiting this behavior could be concerning to their family and friends, right? There's a lot more to this article, and like I said, I will link it down below so you could read it, but there's one more part that I want to share with you guys that I think is important to talk about, and that would be this part at the bottom right here where it says the main characteristics are very similar to the features of substance use disorders and gambling disorder. The guy doing the research says that gambling disorder is another category of clinical conditions which are not associated with the use of a psychoactive substance, but at the same time being considered as addictive as addictions. In all seriousness, interesting, really. I mean, when you compare it to gambling like that, you could relate to a lot more because there's no substance or use or chemical going into your brain that you're injecting in there on purpose. It's not like smoking a a cigarette or drinking or something like that. I guess it would just be like the feeling of winning when you're used to losing or something like that, you know? But anyway, those are really the only parts of the article that I wanted to share, and I wanted to discuss this a little bit before getting your guys' opinions down there. So yeah, for me personally, like I said, the first two I think are kind of a reach and a stretch, because if you take a guy such as myself, right? I'm a pretty regular guy. I work and I went to college and I'm a homeowner and I have a fiance and I have a mom, dad, and sister that I make time to see. And in my spare time, I make YouTube videos about video games, and then in whatever spare time I have after that, I play video games. Of course, there are only so many hours in the day, so obviously if I want to play video games, I'm probably going to have to give something up that day. But I try most days to make room to play video games, right? I mean, really, at the end of the day, if you're working for 8 hours a day and then you have to make room to play video games, you're probably not doing many other things that day. So that would fit into the first characteristic of this gaming disorder, because the gaming behavior takes precedence over other activities that I would do if I weren't playing video games. So if I give up like going to the gym or going to visit my friends or my parents or something like that, then according to this article, that is a gaming behavior and indicative of this gaming disorder. I just, you know, I wholeheartedly disagree, and it's not even like I'm saying, no, it's all bullshit. Like, I think this problem probably does exist somewhere, but I just don't think that making room to play video games and putting off other activities necessarily is a warning sign of it. As far as the second one goes, when having a negative experience and going back and playing more video games, I mean, come on, dude, we've all been there. And that's not even limited to video games. That can go for any activity. You could have a negative experience doing anything and then go back and try it again, right? So to be honest, those first two, they just really don't do it for me. However, the third one, I could see an argument for, like I said before. If it's ruining your sleep schedule or ruining your relationships with your friends or your coworkers or something else, then I could see where this could be considered a problem. However, I can't imagine that many people let it get to this point, right? I mean, don't get me wrong, we've all gone on benders and stayed up all night playing video games, or played for like 4 or 5 days in a row, or just completely done nothing with our lives for like a couple days straight and just sat and played and grinded something out. But the article does state that this behavior should be occurring for at least 12 months before an actual diagnosis could be made. How many people are actually exhibiting it to that extent? We don't know, because the article doesn't say. Guys, I thought this was an interesting one. I want to hear what you guys think about this. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you think gaming disorder is a real thing, or is this just kind of a stretch by these people conducting this research, and that this is some kind of slippery slope and opens the door for more, you know, in quotes, made up diseases to come about? Always interested to know your opinion, so let me know down in the comments below, guys. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you liked it, remember to leave a thumbs up, as it'll really help the channel out. Subscribe for Call of Duty, Fortnite, PUBG, Battlefield, etc. We're on the road to 500 subs. I got a really cool video planned for you guys at 500, so once we get there, you will be able to see that. And make sure you follow me on Twitch and Twitter to get stream updates for both Twitch and here on YouTube. And I will see you all in the next video. Have a good day. Peace out.